Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Janser.
Yes.
Olson. Yes. Pittner. Pachecola.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Burlingame.
Yes.
Evans.
The executive session will be recorded, and all members of the council are reminded to limit their discussion during executive session to the announced topic. Any collective decision, collective commitment, or other final action by the council will occur after it reconvenes an open meeting, unless final action is specifically required by law to be taken during the executive session. Since this executive session is being held to provide guidance and instruction to our attorneys and other negotiators pursuant to North Dakota Century Code 44-04-19.1, the prohibition on taking final action during the executive session does not apply to providing negotiating instructions to the city's attorneys and other negotiators. At this time, the council will relocate to the council conference room adjoining the council chambers. During their executive session, members of the public attending the meeting are welcome to remain in council chambers. We anticipate adjourning the executive session and returning to the dais to reconvene the open portion of this meeting at approximately 5:20 p.m. Okay. Let the, are we back on? Let the minutes show that the executive session was adjourned at 5:03 and the council has returned to the dais and council chambers. And now we are back in open session. Moving back to the agenda. Item number 3, what are the wishes of the council?
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Carrie?
So I'd like to make a motion that has 4 actions. The first one is approving the purchase of the 100 3rd Street and 311 First Avenue Northeast properties in the amount of $310,000. The second action is approving earnest money in the amount of $1,000 being issued prior to the second reading of the budget amendment. Third action is approving the budget amendment to allocate funding for this purchase. And the fourth, authorizing the mayor to sign any necessary documents to complete this acquisition, the acquisition.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Jason, could you just kind of step forward and kind of walk us through this a little bit, please?
Mr. Mayor, real
ahead.
quick, does that motion include $310,000 plus closing costs?
No, do we want it to? Yeah. Okay. So I'd amend the first part of that in the amount of $310,000 plus closing costs.
Is there any objection to the amendment? Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
Jason, just kind of walk us through this.
What would you like to know?
Why?
Okay, as we've been designing MI6, we were designing around this property staying in place. As we were designing around it, it became quite obvious that we're spending a lot of money to keep this property in place, and then the property owner actually approached us about acquiring it. So we started kind of comparing, what an acquisition would cost versus what it would cost to put in the improvements to keep it there. It's about $280,000 in improvements to keep it in place versus the $310,000 to buy it. So it makes a lot of sense. We don't have to put in a bunch of infrastructure that we have to maintain for many years. So we can not build any of that infrastructure and kind of just clear this corner out. So
Any questions of Jason? Steve?
Yes, is this just for that plot of land, or does it also include the building and the land the building is on?
Mayor Ross, Alderman Padragula, it is the structure and then the parking lot next to it.
So it is the Moose Club?
Yeah, no, this is
This
the
is the knockback.
Knockback Tavern.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
If I may just add, if I understand it correctly, when we're looking at it from a flood control project now, in the future, we were also going to have a project with regards to alterations of the bridge that would affect this property. So the numbers you gave on the 280,000 was just regarding flood control, not the potential future challenges and costs in the future. So purchasing this at their request avoids both of those problems, the flood control and the future bridge project challenges as well, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Any other questions of Jason? Seeing none, thank you, Jason. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Evans.
Yes.
Janser. Olson. Yes. Bittner,
Yes.
Padragula.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Burlingame.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 6 of the executive session, adjournment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned until 5:30.